And Erika, you are going to see, begins pursuing fame hard. There's no person who can look into Erika's life and make the claim that she was not trying to be famous. As I have said, I don't know any women who have never dated a guy that was normal. Like everybody that Erika dates has some degree of fame and publicity already.
Traveling, I love it. I'm all for it. I'm up for anything. I want to learn. I want to be able to use this opportunity and harness all the things that I can learn from it and be able to just inspire people.
Do you think it's a coincidence that like this happens to be the university that Jeffrey Epstein was pouring all of his money into, by the way, and he's facilitating models from Romania beginning in 2009? Do you think all of this is just one big coincidence and we are the conspiracy theorists?
What if the tape that was never supposed to resurface is the one that rewrites everything you thought you knew about one of the most connected women in conservative America? Because a newly circulating clip is raising questions that a lot of powerful people would prefer stayed buried. And the more you look at the timeline, the less random all of this starts to feel. Interview. Here's what makes this story so different from the usual online speculation. People aren't just pointing at one connection, one photo, one coincidence. They are lining up a full decade of audition tapes, charity work, pageant circuits, international travel logs, and a name that keeps appearing in the background. Jeffrey Epstein. And right in the middle of all of it sits a woman who, according to people who knew her early, was chasing fame harder than almost anyone around her.
Everybody that Erika dates has some degree of fame and publicity already in their lives, and that clearly attracts her. And that just is Erika's life. It's a fact of Erika's life. And like I said, she lies all the time.
That started with her dating Tyler JT Massie.
In March, we know that Erika is going to begin dating somebody else, and his name is JT Massie, and he's a minor league baseball player because she's not dating nobodies. Okay? She wants to know what you're going to do.
According to commentary from people who followed Erika's timeline closely, every single person she reportedly dated during her early adult years already had some degree of public visibility or notoriety. That detail, on its own, might mean nothing, but when you stack it on top of everything else, it starts painting a very specific picture of someone who allegedly knew exactly how clout worked and exactly how to get close to it. And it started young, with a minor league baseball player named JT Massie and an audition tape that most people have never seen. Interview. The tape in question was reportedly filmed for a spot on The Amazing Race, and what's striking about it isn't the content, it's the energy. The version of Erika in that clip reportedly comes across as playful, flirtatious, camera-aware, and completely comfortable selling herself and her relationship as entertainment. Not inherently scandalous, but here's the part people noticed when they dug back through old posts. Some archived Instagram photos and captions from that period suggest Erika and JT Massie may have been far more serious than casual dating, possibly even engaged at one point. That relationship has never been fully addressed publicly. But it wasn't the only audition tape that started circulating. Interview. Around the same era, according to researchers tracking her digital footprint, Erika also reportedly auditioned for House of DVF, a reality competition tied to fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg that ran from 2014 to 2015. And this is where things get genuinely uncomfortable. In that audition, Erika allegedly admits outright that she never attended fashion school, can't really sew, and has no formal design training. But she emphasizes something else, that she is, in her own words, highly coachable, highly trainable, and ready to adapt fast.
We think we know each other pretty well, but I'm sure the strain and the different challenges that Amazing Race would bring out, you don't really know what to be prepared for. So that the fear of the unknown would be kind of a conflict. Kind of see what to expect out of the person when they are at that level of sleep deprivation or at that level of stress.
Right.
And then she says something that people online immediately flagged. According to the circulating clip, Erika describes herself as someone who can pack her bags and be on a plane within 30 minutes. Living out of a suitcase. A self-described gypsy. On the surface, it sounds like someone pitching flexibility to a reality TV casting team. But the moment you layer in what we know about Diane von Furstenberg's broader social circle, that line lands very differently. because Alexander von Furstenberg, DVF's son, reportedly appears inside Jeffrey Epstein's infamous Little Black Book, and photographs from the mid-2000s, according to researchers who have reviewed them, allegedly show Ghislaine Maxwell attending DVF fashion events during the exact years Epstein's network was most actively operating across elite Manhattan and Palm Beach spaces. That's not proven wrongdoing by DVF or Erika, but it is a documented overlap that the internet is not letting go of. Interview. Not long after those audition years, Erika entered the pageant world. She reportedly competed in the Miss USA system and, according to public records, won Miss Arizona USA in 2012, placing her directly inside a pageant organization that, at the time, was owned by Donald Trump. Now, pageants aren't inherently suspicious, but critics of Epstein's alleged recruiting operation have documented for years that modeling circuits and pageant pipelines were reportedly used as access points for identifying and approaching young women. After her win, Erika reportedly transitioned into casting work herself, allegedly helping evaluate and select talent. That detail has fueled a significant amount of online discussion about exactly what that role entailed and who she was connected to while doing it.
Really handsome.
You look gorgeous. Are you fixing my... I got a little bacon. Babe, that's deep in there. Give them a cleavage. People want cleavage. Showcase it.
Sells, babe.
Sells. That's me.
That's against religion.
It's not within the confines of marriage.
But then the Romania thread opens up, and this is the section that made a lot of people stop scrolling. Erika and her mother Lori reportedly launched several charity initiatives, with one of the most talked about being a project called Romanian Angels, described publicly as a non-profit effort focused on helping children and orphans in Romania. On the surface, standard humanitarian work. But Erika has publicly and reportedly on video thanked a U.S. Army colonel named Otto for his assistance with the project. And according to sources covering the story, this is the same Colonel Otto who would later be axed of allegedly operating a brothel involving the exploitation of minors. That accusation is disputed and has not been proven in a court of law. Erika has not been charged with or formally linked to any wrongdoing in connection with this individual. But the association, a publicly stated, on-camera thank you, is documented, and people are not letting it quietly disappear.
Reality TV.
Calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
I have my pretty boy right here for that.
Cold as ice.
As cold as ice.
I love when you pet my face.
I know your beard's really soft.
Yeah.
But yes, pick us. We will not let you down.
Here's where the Epstein thread pulls tighter. According to researchers and commentators who have reviewed unsealed documents from civil lawsuits connected to the Epstein investigation, financial records allegedly tied to Epstein's foundation show a $30,000 payment directed to a Romanian bank account. That payment, according to those reviewing the files, was reportedly routed through a foundation associated with Epstein himself. Now, that is alleged. It is drawn from civil litigation documents, not a criminal conviction. No direct link to Erika has been established. But the timing of Epstein's alleged financial activity in Romania overlaps directly with the years Erika was reportedly traveling there and conducting charity work. And according to public comments from people who have reviewed the broader Epstein files, there is a distinct and documented pattern of Epstein allegedly targeting Eastern European women, particularly from Romania, as part of what investigators have described as an organized SXTR at FF Icking. Operation.
I don't... We need...
What? We're checking the line? Oh, okay. No, we're checking the line. Roll camera one!
And then came the clip that, according to people following this story, reignited the entire conversation. In a resurfaced tape that started widely circulating online, Erika is allegedly seen pitching herself for a role while casually referencing international travel in Romania, work with orphanages, interactions with military officials, and even mentioning investigations connected to Epstein-related issues, reportedly framed as just another item on her URSUM. Online commentators noted that in public posts from 2014, Erika reportedly referenced upcoming travel to Romania, Laos, Kazakhstan, the Philippines, and Sweden in a single year. Whether all of those trips occurred has not been independently confirmed. But the breadth of that alleged travel pattern, combined with everything else surfacing, is what sent people back through every archive post, every old interview, every clip they could find. Interview. And this is the part that makes the story even harder to ignore. Before his passing, Charlie Kirk had reportedly and publicly pushed for the full release of the Epstein files, positioning himself as someone who wanted transparency on the entire network. But critics have noted, and this is widely discussed online, that Erika has never publicly addressed the Epstein files in any meaningful way, despite frequently stating her intention to carry on Charlie's legacy and continue the work he started. That silence, for many people following this story, is louder than anything she has actually said.
She also auditions for this show, which we think is Diane von Furstenberg had a show called House of DVF. It's fashion, which ran for 2 seasons from 2014 to 2015. And Erika auditions for that as well.
So here's where we land. Nothing in this story has been proven in a court of law. No charges have been filed against Erika Kirk in connection with any of the allegations, associations, or patterns outlined here. What exists is a documented overlap between her timeline, her travel, her professional connections, and a network of names and places that keep appearing inside some of the most serious investigations of the last 2 decades. The more people dig through old audition tapes, archived charity posts, and unsealed legal documents, the more pieces of Erika Kirk's earlier life keep pulling into focus. And if even one of those pieces ends up directly connecting to something bigger, this entire story shifts overnight. Which brings us to the question that thousands of people are actively asking right now. If Erika Kirk truly intends to continue Charlie's work and fight for full transparency on the Epstein files, why has she never once addressed her own name appearing in these conversations? Drop your theory below, because this comment section is about to get very interesting.
I'm at a great point, just career-wise, to be able to take on this type of endeavor. And I feel like I have something very unique to offer this whole experience in general. Like I said, I'm very coachable. I'm very trainable. And I'm the type of person that I don't need all the time in the world to get ready.